All right. Hello, Luke French here. This is my Practicum reflection video. So, the site I interned at was the Fort Sill Child Youth Services Youth Sports Office. And what that does, Child Youth Services Youth Sports, they coordinate and run all of the youth sports leagues for all the military families on Fort Sill. They also maintain the youth sports fields over there. There's a gym at the youth center, a fitness room at the youth center where they do classes and activities there. And they also conduct outreach to the school age center and the child development centers to do physical activities for younger children as well. I chose to do that because I was in the Army previously. Did 20 years in the Army, retired. So I thought it'd be an interesting site to intern at. Some of my main responsibilities at the intern site day to day, I interned with the assistant youth sports director there. So basically, I kind of just shadowed whatever he was doing. So there's a lot of admin tasks, sorting and inventorying of equipment. Did some coaching of Smart Start Football, which is a football program for preschool age kids. I got to do some reffing of flag football. Did school age center outreach, so doing some physical activity classes for school age children. Fitness room assistants. They had a after school lifting program for older kids at the youth center. And then some other work I did was doing research for possible future sports programs for CYS. They're required to have a certain amount of sports leagues that run per year. Some are mandatory, like football, basketball, etc., like that, and some are optional. So I was able to do some research into other potential programs for them to do in the future, such as wrestling and archery. My relationship with the site supervisor, I'd say it was pretty good. He had never had an intern before, so it was, I think, a learning experience for him as well. But he was able to answer all my questions on how they, schedule the leagues, how they set up activities, the nuances of dealing with the coaches, which are all volunteers, dealing with parents, and how they decide which sports to offer given the choices that they have. Some of the objectives that I expected to achieve as an intern. So, what I hoped going in is I would get a chance to use some of my coaching and exercise prescription skills at CYS, and to practice, I guess, being adaptable and kind of going with the flow and learning new things. Strengths and areas for improvement. I think some of my strengths as an intern, as I said before, I was in the Army for 20 years. So I'm used to a lot of things changing, things going not as planned. So I think I'm very flexible, very adaptable. I'll pretty much try anything. I think the only way to learn anything is to pretty much just jump in. Sometimes you have to make a fool out of yourself to learn something. So one example of this, I was asked to referee flag football, which I had never done before, but I gave it a try and basically learned on the job. So that was interesting. Some areas that need improvement. I guess I'm more introverted at times, so getting out of my comfort zone, I need to work on a a little bit more. One example of this, one of the other duties of Child Youth Services Youth Sports is they do outreach to the child development centers. This is preschool age children. So even though I have a son of my own, dealing with 20 toddlers at one time and trying to get them to do an activity was something a little different than what I was expecting, but it was a learning experience. Some of the rewards and challenges that I faced. One of the main things I took away from this interning with Child Youth Services Youth Sports is it's a extremely selfless job. The assistant youth sports director that I was working with, his name is Cameron. He pretty much is there till 7, 8 o'clock at night, because if you're working with youth sports, you're working a lot when people with kids are off work. So, most people get off work 4 or 5, and, from 5 to 6 or 6 to 7 is when people are available to do youth sports programs. So if you go into a job like this, you have to be willing to work odd hours. Another thing I picked up made me realize how kids need these type of youth sports programs and resources, and how heavily they rely on volunteers and people that care about sports and athletics and making people healthy, and how that can help the community and promote healthy, active lifestyles. One of the main challenges I faced while completing my internship, the guy I interned with, he had never had an intern before, and I got the impression at times he was not sure what to do with me, or not sure what he wanted me to do. And I was also older than him, and I have already had a whole career under my belt. So I don't know if the age difference was a factor, because, most intern scenarios is, young people in their early 20s interning with people older, but I was the older one in this scenario. So I guess it added a different dynamic. My future plans, I want to be a public school PE teacher, preferably high school. I just want to be in a scenario where I can help kids be active and hopefully do some coaching. But I'm open to other different opportunities, such as, directing youth sports programs, or coaching, or refereeing, or just anything in the youth sports world after this. In hindsight, one thing I wish I would have known before I started my internship, I wish I would have written down more clear goals going in and handed it to the guy and said, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to learn. Can you help me? And discussing with a future audience some important insights. I would say one thing is to, before you even take the Practicum course, scout out where you might want to intern months in advance, or even the semester before. Because I made the mistake of waiting till the Practicum course started to finalize where I wanted to do my internship at, and that was probably not a good idea. I should have done research well in advance. And also, just try to make more connections in the community, put out feelers, see, who could help or who would be willing to help. Because I do think these things benefit not only the student, but the individual offering the internship. I think they learn a lot as well. So that is my reflection, and thank you for watching my video.